We have a very special guest here with us, and you do the honors, my brother.
Certainly gives me distinct honor and pleasure to introduce to you today our guest, Joshuanette Francis. She's a teacher at school, and she's an osteoarthritis diagnosed patient at 24 years old. I want to also let you know she's an advocate for the environment and somebody that is an avid hiker. At least that's where I met her, and we spoke passionately about some of the interests that she has, and she's going to join us for a couple of minutes today to talk about some of those interests, to talk a little about osteoarthritis and its impact on her, and we're going to engage the audience with her as she speaks today. Joshuanette, welcome to Voice of the People.
Good afternoon. And
Welcome.
thank you.
So talk to us. Tell us a little bit about your story. Normally, osteoarthritis is not something that is sexy or interesting topic that people talk about. As a matter of fact, it's spoken about very little. And oftentimes when we hear this disease, we don't think about young people. Typically, we see people who are older having this disease. There are a lot of statistics that we'll share during the program. But tell us your story so that we can frame it and tie it to the initiatives you're working on.
So just before, let me just explain my name. So I'm Joshuanette Francis, and my parents wanted a boy, so they would have named him Joshua. But I popped out with female organs, so I am Joshuanette. And my mom, I still thinks maybe she wants a boy. My friend was like, you know, your mom has your name saved as Joshua in your phone.
Oh, have mercy, mommy.
But at 24, which was 2 years ago, I'm now 26, I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis. And osteoarthritis is a degenerative disease. So the cartilage that protects the bones around my knees are actually fading away. It is known as a wear and tear disease. And yes, it normally affects older people. But now at 26, I am here having knee problems. I am actually a big advocate for it now, because 2 years ago I didn't take the disease serious. I didn't take how it changed my life. And
so let's step back a little bit. So when you found out about it first, being a young woman of 24 years, you brushed it off.
Correct. I felt like I had time. So I just continued life.
How did you find out about it?
So I fell at work and I went to the doctor and they did a x-ray, but the x-ray didn't prove anything. So I then had to do an MRI at the hospital, and then the doctor called me back and said, you have osteoarthritis. And at that point, I didn't really take it serious. He's like, it's nothing to be worried about. You'll still have a normal life because arthritis doesn't kill you. What it does is you will feel pain ever so often. However, I didn't take it serious. So 2 years later, I can't even wear high heel shoes. That is how drastic it has changed.
In 2 years?
In 2 years. That's because I continued life. So I gained 15 pounds. So now I'm on a path to lose 15 pounds. I still wore high heels. I just did everything as normal. Whereas now I'm definitely transitioning my life, my health, everything, just because I want to live as healthy as possible. When I went to the doctor the last time, I asked so what happens if I get pregnant? And he's like, well, unlike other people, if you get pregnant, it's going to even be more strain on you because your body's going through changes. And I just know that I have to take stock of it now, which is the inspiration for my YouTube channel, Joshuanette's World, which is the inspiration for my Facebook handle, Joshuanette's World, on Instagram, everywhere. I just want to let people know that you have a disease. However, it doesn't have to stop you. And I live on one of the most beautiful islands. And as you said, I've always loved hiking. So I want to go on all the hiking trails. I want to go on all the beaches, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 years. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 years.
You said you want to take care of it now. How are you? Give us some of the ways in which you're taking care of it and managing it. Tell us.
One major way is by hiking to get down 15 pounds. I feel like I don't need to go to the gym. I feel like Antigua has a lot of trails. There's a lot that can do. And as Frank said, we met at 5 a.m. hikers. So I hike on Saturday morning.
Hey, shout out to 5 a.m. hikers.
Shout out to 5 a.m. Definitely a good bunch. So I've always hiked with them. However, now I am now documenting each of my hike that I go and let people know, like, yes, I have an issue with my knee. If I can do it, you can do it. You got to get your health in stock. The doctor would have recommended going to the beach. So that is actually one of my biggest projects that I'm super excited about. The doctor would have recommended going to the beach. So instead of going to one beach, I am on a hunt to find all 365 beaches on an island.
Yeah. So tell me, Joshuanette, you think that we have 365 beaches?
I do. I have 200 recorded. Like me and my friend, we sat down and we were writing. So like Hawksbill, if you go to Hawksbill, you know there are 4 beaches. So we have Hawksbill, and we just have the 4 beaches for Hawksbill. When you go to Hermitage, there are beaches behind of Hermitage.
About 6 of them.
We have 7. And then we counted all of the islands, all of the beaches around them. So we have them documented. It's just to go to each beach.
And I'll tell you, when I came home one time from New York, I was bringing my first wife with me. And I kept bragging about 365 beaches. So we rented a Jeep and we went beach hopping. We did 48 beaches in one day.
48?
Yeah, in one day.
Wow.
Okay, we just went around and around and around and around. So I don't know. And then when we did that circumnav cruise, one of the things I decided I was going to is count every beach. I think I got up to about 200. But then I forgot about the beaches around the little islands. Each Maiden Island and Green Island, all of them. Those are beaches too.
I've definitely been pooling my resources. So we went to Cactus Hill, and apparently
where's Cactus Hill?
So it is just off of Carlisle Bay. So you're gonna walk down the beach to Carlisle Bay, and there's actually the trail is actually marked. You can walk right up to Cactus Hill. I actually went on that hike through 5 a.m. hikers, and there are 4 beaches behind there. One of the issues that we foresee that we're gonna face is they don't have names. So we decided that whatever historical site or whatever is close to it, that's what the name that we're gonna give it. So we have 4 beaches around Cactus Hill.
Well, let me ask you, anything that had a little bit of sand, I counted it as a beach. All right, so I'm just telling you that.
There's a trick to that too. So we went and we actually found a definition for a beach because we wanted to be specific. So let me just pull it up so I'm not actually paraphrasing. Because we were also saying, like, what do we consider as a beach?
If there's mangrove right up to the shoreline, I don't count it as a beach.
Oh, no, Paul.
Well, that's a beach too?
Hear the definition for
Let's
the
hear
beach.
the
Go ahead.
So it says a pebbly or sandy shore, especially by the sea between high and low water mark.
Anywhere there is high and low water mark.
Pebbly and sandy.
Or sandy.
Yes.
Yeah, but with the mangrove, you don't see pebbles or
Yeah, they
sand.
have dirt.
I can't count the mangroves as
Paul,
a beach, friend.
this is the problem. You're spoiled, right? And so you are accustomed. You of all people, Paul, you don't go see the things they have in New York. They call beach up there. So
I know.
Right?
So we had a debate. Do you know down by Royalton, Deep Bay? You know, before you go over the rising there is a beach. The water comes in. So we're like, is this considered
That's definitely a beach.
Yes.
And that have a name too.
No.
Down with the bridges.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the water comes in the whole shoreline.
You're talking about where the old salt pond used to be?
Yes, the mouth of the salt
Yeah.
pond.
So is that is the debate? Is that considered a beach?
No.
The mouth where the water access.
The water comes in.
But that's part of Deep Bay.
No, Paul.
No. Y'all gonna ruin this thing now. No.
There's a small area that accesses the water into the salt pond, into the mangrove that was there. That's a beach.
And then they at the side there, you know that there are a lot of pebbles. Have you been to Well, I actually thought it was Turner's, and I did my research. It's actually Cades Bay and not Turner's Beach.
Off of the reef.
And I actually got that from the map at First Choice. If you are a First Choice goer, you should definitely take a pic of the map there. There's some interesting facts that you can learn from the map there.
Yeah.
So if you go to Turner's, but you go to there was Pelican Alvillas on the hill. There's actually a beach there also that I didn't even know. They actually call it, well, the locals, people in Johnson's Point will tell you it's called Old People Bay. However, there's no sand. Like, there's a few sands, but majority of the beach is stones. So because we were not sure, however, if it comes off a cliff like that, it is not a beach. We're not counting that as a beach. It has to
have sand
or stone, and it has
high and low water mark.
Correct.
So let me ask you, have you been to Fort James?
We have.
How many beaches you got down there?
So what we did, right? We went an afternoon, so we didn't get to count because we went to Dickerson Bay and then we went to Runaway. So we haven't counted. I haven't counted, but I have on record. So my parents and even the friends who know, they have definitely been advocates. So they'll be like, my dad, they came like, so I went into Jolly Beach, about 5-6 beach in there. Yes, so he was like, we are gonna have to go, and he's a fisherman, so he actually said that he would take me inside because inside the village I may not have access to. And one thing with my blog is you can't go, I have to go, and I have to have a picture or a video or something significant about each beach.
So let me ask you, because you touch a word there for me that's a little antsy about access to beach. In Antigua, the law says that every beach that is available or exists in Antigua must have access. As a matter of fact, it is the Physical Planning Act of 2003, section 50, subsection 1 says, there shall be at least one public landway access to every beach in Antigua and Barbuda. Have you found any challenges as you have sought to access beaches in Antigua and Barbuda?
I have not at this point. My sister works at Carlisle Bay, so I said I recognize, when you go to Carlisle Bay, Curtin Bluff, that they would have, I was like, is that 2 different beaches? And she's like, no, Morris Bay is 1 beach. What the owner did, they did like the platoon that goes out. However, you are still free to walk over. The only thing, just don't touch the property of Curtin Bluff, but they cannot stop you, because I was saying that I couldn't go over there. So I actually inquired, and I went down to Dickerson Bay, and I would have explained to you that on Anna's on the beach, I felt a kind of way. I had to walk at the back, which I felt like it was garbage behind
They can't make you do that. Nobody, and this is what I want to let people know as you explore, because this is something that I'm passionate about. I myself have walked to take pictures of, particularly of access. Nobody can tell you not to walk on any beach in Antigua. They can't fence it, go down in the sea. They can't do any of those things. And if DCA hears about or knows about that, they will go and move it. But nobody can stop you from walking on any beach in Antigua. And how many beaches you up to now?
I have 200.
200. So that means you have 165 more to go. And you have this on a map?
I have it.
How are we documenting it?
So what we did is we have it on because we haven't gone to them, we wrote it all out in our phone, so we use notes. So she has like all the beaches coming down, and as we go, we keep adding to the list. And as we go, we actually are ticking off the beaches that we actually got to record, because going to each beach is going to take a long time, hence a YouTube channel, because it's not going to happen today or tomorrow. It's actually going to happen over a period of time. So if you want to see the beaches, you want to see not only just the beaches, I want to go to all the historical sites, I want to go to all the restaurants, I want to go to everything, just because I am fearful that I may not be able to walk.
Well, let's hold that thought. We're going to come back on that after a break to Voice of the People.
1.1 FM, Paul, Franz, and Joshuanette. We're all in the house. It's 12:49 in the afternoon in France.
Joshuanette, so before we went to the break, you were talking about your motivation to visit the various historical sites in Antigua. In my view, we have done not such a good job in Antigua and Barbuda to share and upkeep and preserve many of the historical sites. But your motivation is time-based, based on this disease that you have called osteoarthritis. Before we go back into your escapades exploring the historical sites, tell us a little bit about what you're doing apart from hiking to deal with it. It is degenerative. That means it will progressively get worse over the course of your life. What steps and measures are you taking? Do you have to take any medication to handle it? How do you manage that over time?
So you definitely did a good definition or explanation as to what's happening to my knees. I actually do take medication. It is glucosamine. Yeah, that's the name of it. I'm going to get the correct name if that's not it. But you take the tablet 2 times a day, and it assists with building back the cartilage. There's no cure. Let me just ensure I say that. There is no cure for osteoarthritis. Like, it's what it is. So you just take your medication, you keep your weight in check, you keep your intake of fats and salt and all of that in check. You ensure that you are completely active all of the time. The doctors will tell you the different things. So they recommended riding a bike. Because you need to learn to ride a bike in order, because it doesn't put as much strain. That's why the beat. So you ride a bike, you go swimming, and then there are a few exercises that even if you go on YouTube and research it, that they will tell you that you do constantly every day just to keep your knees going.
What are some of those exercises?
So the doctor will say that you would go to the back of your chair and you simply do like a simple squat. At this moment, I actually can't do a full squat because my knees doesn't allow me to do it. But if you can do a simple squat, and the doctor will say like you do that for 2 minutes a day.
So exercises that include range of motion,
Correct.
exercises that would make sure that it pushes your limit over
Correct.
time as your muscles strengthen around
Correct.
your joints and things like that. Okay.
So once you keep active, you do your research, you eat right, you'll be fine. Because it's not a death sentence. I'm not going to die. But what I do know is there's a big chance on me, because I feel like now that I'm taking it serious, the possibilities of me not walking is definitely 1 in 100, because I am definitely taking the right steps. Before, I used to hike and I never used to wear a knee brace. Any hike that I go on now, I have on a knee brace. Anywhere I go, I ensure that. My friend said to me, you walk sideways, go downstairs. I'm like, as simple as that. I am very conscious that, I have to be aware of how I walk. So last year when I was at work, the manager was talking to me. So I twisted the top part of my body and I was speaking to her and I tried to go forward and I actually tumbled down. That was it. Out. I was out of work for 2 weeks. And then the doctor would have said, because of the way your knees are, you have to ensure that you know where you're going. The top part of your body can't go one way and the bottom part. So there's no twisting and going. You just gotta go. Ensure that your feet are ready to go. And you can even do as simple as, before you get up, they will let you know, like, just move your foot in and out a couple times so that your feet get into that motion. You already know that you're gonna get up. And simple stuff like that goes a long way. Don't sleep in the AC. The air condition is definitely bad for osteoarthritis. When you go to the doctor, they'll let you know, because obviously if you get cold, there's cold in your bones, you get up, it hurts. Compared to sleeping with a fan, it is not as cold. There's small stuff that you can do.
Let me ask you, others who've had arthritis, just plain a regular arthritis, they'll tell you, well, it's chilly out, so my joints are hurting more than normal. And sometimes when they sit down for a long time or lay down for a long time, when they get up, there's pain. Is that your experience as well? Does the weather affect it in any way and affect how you feel?
It does.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
It does. On cold days or bad days. But for me, I'm always optimistic. I feel like if I get up and my knees are hurting me today, I'm like, okay, it hurts today. Tomorrow's going to be better. I actually don't take pain medication at all. The doctor would have recommended from the get-go that if I ever get to the point where my knees hurt too much, I need to take pain meds. But I feel like I was 24 at that point. I'm now 26. If I become dependent on pain meds, it's
it
problem.
might do nothing when you come 50.
Exactly.
Right?
It's problems. Like, the pain isn't, I said to people, the pain isn't excruciating, like I'm dying. It's like a pinch. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
There's a discomfort. However, it isn't discomfort that I need to take a pain medication.
So let me just ask you now, because when I was little, my grandmother had arthritis. She used to rub her knee with lime. And
turmeric?
She used to ban up all kind of things. Do you use any natural remedies in alleviating your pain or managing the osteoarthritis?
So if you want to manage pain, they say turmeric is good. So you can go turmeric and coconut oil and just rub it on the surface.
And you've done that?
I have.
And you think that it's effective?
It is.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
And I use, like, old people have all kind of remedies. Like, even before the doctor said going to the beach, my mom was like, you need to go to the beach and pack all the sand on your feet and leave your foot in the sand. Like, she would have already given me some remedies that even the doctors would have recommended. As simple as going to the beach is effective. Taking a swim is effective, because when you swim, you are exercising, but your muscles are not under so much pressure. So that is the reason why you swim. That's the reason why you ride a bike. You do exercises that are not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm dying.
So don't want to discourage jogging, anything running, those kind of things there.
Correct.
Because they put a lot of pressure on your joints.
Correct.
And the thing about swimming too, it's the one exercise that all the muscles in your body, they say, get a good workout when you swim.
That is true.
Yeah. Now, and you know what's interesting? A lot of the remedies that our grandparents used back then,
That's true.
they're now using them, and they're now
Cost us money though.
no, it costs us money. Back in the day, you go out and you get some turkey berry leaves and bring them in for grandma, and she wrap up her knee in those turkey berry leaves, and it worked wonders. I don't know, but and it's now costing a great deal. But what can you tell? And by the way, how prevalent is osteoarthritis in Antigua and Barbuda? What? 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000?
So they say it's the 1 in 1,000.
1 in 1,000.
1 in 1,000.
And is there an association?
There isn't.
So you started.
I am the starter of it.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Because I have received so much. I'm telling you, like, my social media has been popping up. Like, I haven't been able to respond to all of the messages because there's so much. I want to say, if you would have followed my social media handle, if you went
Which is?
So it is Joshuanette's World. So my name is spelled JOSHUANETTE '(S) and that is also my handle for YouTube. So the plan is to document it all, just because I want to motivate anybody else who has a disease. There was one lady who reached out to me. She said she had it in her hips. However, she hasn't told her friends and family because she felt like they would see her as she's disabled.
A friend of mine just messaged me and said that he has it. I don't know if you want me to say his name or has a problem with that, but he's relatively young too. And so people might think, hey, you know, I met you on a hike, right?
I know, right?
And so you don't associate people who experiences this kind of disease with this kind of active lifestyle, but you're here to suggest that that's not necessarily true.
Correct. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep moving. And I will tell anybody, not just myself, no matter what disease that you have, because I actually did a lot of research even before I started my YouTube channel. There's actually not a video posted on my channel at this moment. However, you can subscribe, and when I have a video, everybody is gonna know, because it's gonna be a big thing, because I feel like celebrating everything in life. I've always documented my life. However, it's now documenting it on a different platform, on a different level, bringing awareness to osteoarthritis and saying no disease can hold you back. You have to be the one at the front. You are great. Just do it.
On that note, we're going to take a break for the top of the hour. We'll be back with more Voice of the People and, of course, Joshuanette. She's talking about osteoarthritis. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Voice of the People, and we are delighted to be joined today by Joshuanette Francis, and she's talking to us a little bit about her experience dealing with osteoarthritis, diagnosed at age 24, and she is telling us a little bit about what she has been doing preemptively to preserve the history, to preserve the experiences of the beautiful island of Antigua and Barbuda, just in case she's incapacitated later in her life. And that's where Joshuanette's World comes in. It is the repository for all her adventures and escapades that she has relative to dealing with this osteoarthritis. And a friend of mine mentioned that, you know, Colin Jenkins.
No.
Okay, Colin Jenkins said, look, yeah, this is something that I've been dealing with for some time too. He's a relatively young guy. And so possibly you can start up the support group for people who have osteoarthritis and let people know, hey, you know, there is a support base for that, and we can navigate and battle and explore together, maybe some of those people can be a part of your excursions.
You're talking about Colin John Jenkins, the architect?
Yeah, let me just take a couple. Guys, the phone lines are open. You guys can call in and talk to Joshuanette about osteoarthritis and about her experiences visiting how many beaches now?
200.
I have 200 on record. I have visited like maybe 10 because I'm
Only 10?
because I'm documenting it. So it takes time to document it all because I'm not going and again. So I brought my books. I went to the museum because it isn't just go to the beach. It's something that I want done properly. So I went to the museum and I got some books about the history of the beaches because when I go, I want to definitely give you the information. Did you know that if you go on YouTube, nobody has a lot of information about Antigua and Barbuda? We need somebody.
We need content. We need content.
Lots
in
of
Antigua.
content.
We have a call on.
And what I don't like about going online, quite frankly, is that it's usually these tourist groups that give information.
Because we are not going to the beach, Paul, and
half of the
anything.
information is incorrect.
Oh, well.
They spell names incorrect.
That's a 4-hour fault.
It's some tour group talking about Antigua, and it's just a mess. But I guess tourists looking at it can be fascinated, but we know that is wrong. That is wrong.
Let's go to the phone lines. Hey, good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Voice of the People.
Tell that young lady to try B100. B100.
Okay.
It's available from the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Okay, B100.
Get it from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's under the Now brand.
Okay. All right.
It's very good. She'll get relief.
Okay.
But don't expect it right away.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Staying on the phone lines. Your thoughts?
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Can I ask the lady, you know where Honey's Bay is?
No.
Do you know where Jabberwock Beach is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you know where Honey Bay is?
No, I do not.
Oh, please go see the government. Let them show you where Honey Bay is, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we have a whole ton of beaches around that side.
All right.
And let me tell you this. You say you got up to 200?
Yes.
There you have plenty more. And let me say to you, I hope that we will seriously start naming our beaches. There is a beach where a lady by the name of Lady Ray used to live. That's on the northern side, Hodges Bay. And her house was on the edge, and behind her house, her husband was at one time, in the early days, Attorney General of Antigua. And they lived at Hodges Bay. And just behind the house was a beautiful beach. I used to go there regularly because Lady Ray had something to do in my young life when I was much younger. Go see the Grove. Ask the guys in Cedar Grove to show you where all the beaches and them are on the northern side, and you will get plenty beaches, beautiful beaches, blue waters, excellent beaches. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this one here says, the little beach down by Deep Bay is Hog John Bay. Right? That's the same one we're talking about. and of course, many people don't know that the beach down by Pensioners Beach is Ballast Bay. Right? The beach at the side there, Ballast Bay. And they have a lot of other little beaches here that some people are WhatsApping in about.
Talking about beaches, say what you're going to say.
I was going to say, another thing that we actually had to debate, which is another thing to put out into the world. Do you know when you go to Turner's, that long stretch, it is one beach. It is not 5 beaches. So it's Kids Bay, and on Kids Bay there is Turner's, there is Jackie O's, there's OJ's, there's Keona Beach Club.
Which are restaurants.
With our restaurants and hotels. So it's not 5 beaches. Even when you go online, I actually pull that up, that they would name, because Keona Beach Club is Keona Beach.
They name the beach from the business.
Yeah, it's not that.
Them they just come. And them they take over the name of beach.
Yes.
Look, you had a chance to go up by Mill Reef yet? Because you know they have about 5 beach behind there
My
that they're
mom
locking
told
off.
me about they're locking off.
Yeah. They don't have any public landway access to it. You can access it from the waterway. But they gone very funny up there when you try to go up there to go to the beach. But I want to encourage you to go and visit the beaches up by Mill Reef. There's some beautiful beaches behind there. You can access them if you walk around the rocks by Half Moon Bay. But I would just go by the gate and ask them to go to the beach.
Go to the beaches.
Right?
Someone is sharing a WhatsApp and it's saying, hi, Paul. My son was born with arthritis. He was diagnosed at 2 years old.
Wow.
It is
This
called...
is in Antigua?
It is called, no, in New York. Actually, in Georgia. It is called juvenile arthritis.
Wow.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you.
At 2 years old, yeah.
He has a full life. We're not blowing off. I feel like when I tell people about my knees, right, I say, if you work with my coworkers, will tell you I call my knees old people knees. I am just like, my knees, like, they are fine. I am not stressing. I am not here crying. I have cried a few times because that is natural. It is natural to cry. However, 90% of the time, I am optimistic about my knees. And guess what? Because I have an issue with my knees, I am the first person in Antigua and Barbuda to pilot finding all 365 beaches. So guess what? There is a positive spin. And I am open to suggestions. I am open to information. And I do not want to tell anybody I do not know it all. I am a POA teacher and I work on, I don't have the history of Antigua and Barbuda. I've been pulling knowledge from the museum. I've been pulling knowledge from older people. I hope that I get it right even before, and that's why documenting is also going to take so long. Before I go to the beach, I don't want to give you a knockoff. And if anybody else comes behind me, I hope that they do it even better than how I did it. They have more information to give, but I want to ensure that it is done properly, and hence it is not going to be, she said she's going to 365 beaches and in 3 months it's done. It's not going to be done in 3 months. It's probably not going to even be done in a year because I still have a full-time job. This is an extracurricular activity that I'm doing on the side.
Let's go back to the phone lines.
Yeah.
Mr. Quinn
Yes.
and Mr. DePeter,
How are you, sir?
pretty cool and your guest.
Joshuanette Francis.
Oh, Miss Francis?
Hi.
Okay. Why I call, right? You're talking about arthritis, okay? Mr. Quinn, if you have the time, when you finish work, come by me. We show you arthritis pain cure.
Okay. You have a
You know
name?
what is that?
Yeah, you have a name?
Mr. DePredator,
Yes, sir.
you can come to.
Okay.
Okay.
No make no mistake, I can show you.
You can
All
show
right.
me the cure for arthritis pain.
Exactly.
Okay, then.
I
And
am
when
not
I get it, I'm going to share it with Joshuanette. And
I'm not condemning the young lady, right?
yeah.
But I would like you and the guy to come,
Okay.
and I'm going to show you.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you so much. I will do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Potter's friends. Let's share as many of these WhatsApps as possible. Those that have to do with today's discussion.
Sure. This one said dampness and rain are likely bad conditions.
That's true.
This one said
And by the way, you were talking about you're an optimistic person, and it's not a death sentence, and you're living life to the fullest. The way you talk, you're infusing all of us with that upbeat and inspiring sense of being. So you keep that up, my dear. And that's a terrific smile as well.
This one said, Franz asked the young lady to call this number. And it says 732-3556. That's 732-3556 for some simple remedy that really work.
All right.
All right.
Did you take the number?
I did.
Yeah. Staying on the
This
board.
one says, I wear a copper bracelet for joint pains. It's a local remedy. Have any extra? I have an extra one I can give your guest.
All right. Let's go to the phone lines. Your thoughts, caller.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can I get on?
You're on the air
on
now.
the air.
Talk to us.
Mr. Franz,
How are you, sir?
fair. You know, there's a beach they call Blue Waters. I think it's, and it has a original name, Soldier Bay. And on the cadastral map, there's a road that leads to it. And the hotel that is on the beach there put a barrier across, and you can't pass. It's being guarded. Why should that be?
Well,
you can't drive to it, and it seems as if you're trespassing to get to it.
Well, when I went to Blue Waters, I didn't actually have any problem accessing the beach. There's a small roadway, look like somebody's driveway, that you walk down and you access the beach.
You could get to it before the gate. You get to the gate.
No, I don't have any gate that I went through. But where there are no roads, I just walk through the hotel because the law says that they must give me access somewhere, and especially where the traditional access is, they cannot block those parts off for you, and they certainly can't lock any gate, so you can't go there.
If you look in the cadastral map,
yes,
the traditional road is still marked on the map.
Yeah,
but there's a let me not call it a gate. There's a barrier.
Right.
You know, one of these things that you rise up so car can pass under and come back down.
Okay. Well, we'll check it out.
So there's a barrier.
Okay, then.
All right. Thank you so very much. We're staying on the WhatsApp board. Well, let's take a break first, and then we'll come back and wrap it up here with Joshuanette. We'll be back with more.
6th August 2020. We're fortunate today to have with us Joshuanette Francis. She's a teacher and an osteoarthritis diagnosed individual at 24 years old. And she's really sharing with us how she's dealing with her degenerative disease and what it has driven her to do in terms of discovering Antigua and Barbuda, its beaches, historical sites, restaurants, and other experiences here. But before we wrap up, let me just get in just a few more of these WhatsApp here. This one says, Franz just tuned in. How about a 365 beach challenge? Get the entire 365 beach list and cover them over a few months. That's one suggestion there. And this one says, I have the same degenerative arthritis in my upper arms, looking for help. Is there a way, Joshuanette, that people can interact with you, particularly on the osteoarthritis issue?
Yes, so I can be emailed at joshuanette.whirl@gmail.com. If you message me on any of my social media handles, so on Instagram and Facebook, it is Joshuanette Whirl. On Snapchat and Twitter, it is Joshuanette. On YouTube, the big place you need to go is actually YouTube. You need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because the guy there that suggested the 365 beach challenge, I am actually doing that. I am actually on a challenge, a hunt, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to find all the beaches in Antigua and Barbuda. Right. The most interesting part is when I went, this lady was like, it's a myth. I'm like, it cannot be a myth. It cannot be a myth. However, I am definitely doing that. And I glanced one of the WhatsApp. It says, the doctor told me there's nothing that they can do. I have to live with the disease. I was actually also told that there is nothing that the doctors can do. The only thing they can do is give you pain medication. However, there is hope. I am a testament that there's hope and there's a positive in it, because I have osteoarthritis and I am not a Debbie Downer. I still go to work. I still do what I have to do because life goes on. It is not a death sentence.
And this WhatsApp says, hi, Paul and Franz. I'm so excited, extremely proud of Miss Francis. I have that same problem. Had surgery in both my knees already. I am in my 60s and just hearing her talk gives me hope. She's such an inspiration. Thank you, Miss Francis. Definitely.
Staying on the WhatsApp board.
And this one says here, one of these tech persons out there can build her an app and tag the geolocations of each beach she visits. I'm sure all this is possible, and I'm sure if anybody can do it, Joshuanette will put it together.
Staying on the WhatsApp board.
Let's take one more. Doctor told me there is nothing they can do. I have to live with the disease. She just addressed that. And then somebody's asking you to share your contact. As you wrap up, Joshuanette, give us some more encouraging words for people living with osteoarthritis, and tell them how they can touch base with you, follow your journey.
Or you can find me on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. It is Joshuanette's World. On YouTube, it is Joshuanette's World. And on Snapchat, on Twitter, it is Joshuanette. So my name is spelled Joshuanette. My parents wanted a boy, but I'm a girl, so I'm Joshuanette. And I will be documenting my journey in finding 365 beaches. I will be hiking. I will be going to the restaurants and beaches. And just to piggyback on what the commercial from before about finance, that is actually a big thing on my channel, because I do not feel as though as young people we have been taught financial literacy. So actually there is a section on my channel dedicated to talking about that. Not to toot my own horn, but at 26 I've already purchased 2 acres of land. I bought 2 cars. I started a business. I go to school, and I have 2 full-time jobs. And it is possible. I am on the hunt. I'm on a verge. I want to be the first millionaire in my family.
All right. Well, definitely. So we are so delighted that you have taken time of your busy schedule, Joshuanette, to come in and talk to us about osteoarthritis and about your experience, your journey. We trust that you will continue to keep us updated as you go along. I know that I will see you when we go hiking on Saturday mornings, but we will definitely talk to you again down the road to see how this particular beach project is going. And we want to thank you so much for coming in today.
No problem.
Thank you, Joshuanette. And of course, I know that you being here today was an inspiration to many. And that upbeat enthusiasm, that optimistic outlook, I believe that you've left some of it with a lot of us here today. Thank you so very much. And again, may God bless you and continue the good work. May He bless the effort.
It's a journey. It's going to be a fun journey.
A
fun journey.
Very, very good. All the best, my dear.
Now,
who's your friend there next?
So that is actually my best friend. She is like the person behind the camera. You don't see her, but she's there for the whole journey from the beginning.
So she's an integral part of it.
She is like my right hand, probably my rib.
No, what's her name?
Her name is Alicia.
Alicia. All right. Good having you, Alicia. But as you said, she stays in the background.
Because it's about me and living with osteoarthritis. But guess what? She's just as excited about going to the beaches and doing it all. It's an adventure for the 2 of us.
Okay, very good. Enjoy.
It will be, and I will. And you can follow me on the journey the last time. So it's Joshuanette.world on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything, Joshuanette's World. There isn't a video yet, but there will be videos posted shortly.
I've never been on any of those things. Maybe this might be as good a time as any to. How can I follow you? Joshuanette World?
Joshuanette's World.
Just put that in?
Just Google it. I will pop up. I will pop up. I'm the only Joshuanette in the whole entire world.
I love this girl. Thank you so much, my dear.
You're welcome.